Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. It's a nice day for the show. I'd like to thank everybody involved. I'm going to introduce myself, Deputy Shuping, Deputy Shire from Defiance County. We'll bring our dogs out in a few minutes, kind of show you what's going to happen, what they can do, what they're capable of. Once their introduction's done, what we'll do is do a little demo of what they do. First of all, I'm Deputy Mick Frisbee. I work for the Williams County Sheriff's Office. I've been at the Sheriff's Office for almost 11 years. I've been a canine handler for 10 years. This is my second canine that I've handled. I retired one. So I've been glutton for punishment for a while. The Deputy Shuping is here on my right. He's been at our office for 7 years and Henry County for 2 years. He's had Canine Max for 5 years. He's been a handler for 4 years. Canine Max is a 5-year-old German Shepherd. And Deputy James Shire with Defiance County, 10 years. How long you had a dog? 5 years. How old is your dog? That's too many numbers. He's 7. We'll say 7, yeah. So you guys will get to see a few different dogs. My dog is a Dutch Shepherd. He's 9 years old. Deputy Shuping has, they're both German Shepherds, correct? One's Czech and it's Silver Sable. So you'll get to see a couple different dogs. It's kind of neat. So I think first of all, what we're going to do is bring our dogs out. You want to do a demo drug search on the car first. We'll kind of show you what our dogs do. All three, I believe, dogs are similar trained. They're trained to find illegal narcotics. They're trained to track humans. They're trained to building search, find people in buildings. They're trained to search for articles and evidence. If we lose something out in the yard or field or something, they'll identify the item by the human odor on the item. They're trained to, let's see, what else we got? Building area, evidence search, article search. We got handler protection, criminal apprehension. So these dogs are trained to bite. They're trained to bite and hold. So they will grab onto somebody and hold them until we get there to tell them to let go. So if we need them to assist in any form of altercation, physical altercation, we can get them out of the truck quick. We can deploy them by pushing a button on our belt, which will pop the door and the dog comes out, so which is a nice feature on our vehicles. All three of these dogs are trained to find marijuana, cocaine, methamphetamine, and heroin. You trained in ecstasy? All right. Some dogs are trained in ecstasy. Any other thing that Deputy Shuping's dog will find any rubber dog toy available. So as long as it's a toy, he will find it. I guarantee it. So, and you'll probably see that in a little bit. Both our dogs in the Williams County Sheriff's Office were trained at Fort Wayne Police Department through some donations that we had to our canine program. We've been fairly lucky to have a lot of donations to our program. So if any of you here have donated to that, I want to say thank you. Without the donations that we've got, we probably wouldn't be able to train every month. We get 20 hours of training every month. So we get a lot of time into these dogs, probably more time with them than our families. So that's probably why they act so good most of the time. Sometimes, yeah. Both our dogs are trained in passive alert. When they find an illegal narcotic, they will sit down and stare at the odor. And we're going to show you guys that here in a little bit. We've got some drugs set up on a vehicle. We're not going to tell you where, though. So we'll let them find it. And what else? Anything else you can think of? Yeah, we'll show you guys an article search, too. What we'll do is throw something out in the yard and let them find it. any evidence or articles they're trained to find. So that'll be kind of neat to see how they react. Both our dogs are trained to lay down at the article they find. So if somebody throws something while we're chasing them or tracking them, they'll lay right down and indicate to the article that has human odor on it. So that'll be kind of neat.
Okay. I'm assuming most everybody's here from Williams County, right? I'm from Defiance County. I'll try to speak slow so you can keep up with me. I'm just kidding, folks. I actually grew up on Wesley Avenue. My mom's right there. I'm a 1994 graduate of Bryan, so nobody call Sheriff Westrick, please. Again, I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 10 years. Prior to that, I was the military police officer. The law enforcement is kind of a generational thing in my family. Again, K9 Malik, he will be 7 years old in about a week. Him and I have been together since 2006. It's one of the best things I've ever had the opportunity to do. I'm sure these guys can absolutely confirm that. It's great. We get to do all the fun things, so to speak. We get to go to all the fun calls, which some people might not consider fun, but in this line of work, what we do, this is fun for us.
One more thing I'll add is, what other job can you work on, and you guys will get to see that you get to send your trained biting police dog to bite your coworker.
Yeah, thank you.
Because Deputy Frisbee volunteered for that duty.
Okay, this is K9 Max. He's trained in the Dutch language. He is a German Shepherd. Actually, he's a Czech Shepherd, but he was trained in the Dutch language. The handler, the master trainer that we had was a big Dutch Shepherd fan, so he trained all his dogs in the Dutch language, or most of them. There's a few English, but not too many. So,
what we'll do is we'll do a little obedience for you, show you what it entails obedience-wise. Max is what they call bilingual. He's by voice or by hand commands. As you see, Max is very mouthy. They say eventually the dog starts acting like the handler. I don't see it. Max is mouthy. He really doesn't listen. He's got his own agenda. He whines a lot.
well, if
I
they
don't
know
see
you,
it.
then they'll.
Canine hammer, kind of big boned, lays around a lot, doesn't do a whole lot.
These dogs actually train in 3 languages. We have verbal commands we give them. We have hand commands with no verbal, and also electronic, what we call e-collar, the electronic collar. We utilize that not for punishment, but for training purposes only. We want these dogs at 1 command compliance, okay? We don't want to have to tell these dogs 3 times to do something. When we give them their command, we want it right now. So that e-collar helps get that dog there quicker. And we, like I said, we don't punish them with it. And they get it. They probably get anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of training with e-collars a month. So we utilize it on them on a weekly basis. So it's low-level stimulation. We got about 6 levels on these electronic collars, and they all have a low, medium, and high. So we don't have to punish the dogs, but we do want them to respond. There's the mouthiness, just like his handler. They say every dog acts like his owner or handler. No different with these guys either. I'll turn this off if you want to go ahead. You got yours on? Okay. Yeah, that's a good boy. Good boy. Good dog. Deputy Shire is going to show you a drug search. This is simulating a traffic stop where we come up to a vehicle or we get called to a traffic stop to assist another agency or another deputy. We get our dog out. We're going to show you how we approach the car, how we search the car, what the dog does when he alerts to illegal narcotics. So some dogs are trained for specific tasks. A lot of trainers use different collars for them tasks. So when he puts this collar on, he knows he's going to be searching for drugs. It's just basically trainer handler preference. You don't need to do that. Some guys believe that that does help the dog understand what's going on, and it's just handler preference in training. But when he gets that collar on, he knows what he's going to do. So there's no complication between the handler and the dog. The dog knows when this collar comes on, he's searching for drugs, and you can see he already knows that. So. Yep, gotcha. There's 4 grams of methamphetamine in the trunk, right where he alerted. You seen him sat down. And that was 1 pound of marijuana under the hood. Yeah. This is going to simulate an evidence or article search. Basically what happens is we try to get them downwind from what we're looking for to make it easier for them. A lot of times we're out for several minutes, hours at a time, just depending on what we're searching for. So you want to make it as easy as you can for the dogs. These dogs will use air, scent. I mean, they'll use all their senses, the sight, smell, sight. They'll use everything they can to locate the items that we want them to. So we want to give them the best chance for success. So we try to put them, if applicable, we try to put them downwind for what we're looking for so they can work their way to it as simple as possible. So what Hammer's going to do is lay down when he finds this article. And our command for this is fetch. Fetch. See, fetch. And what we like to do is, there he goes. Okay. Good boy. That's a good zook and fetch. Yeah, that is a good zook and fetch. Yes, indeed. What'd you find, huh? What a good dog, zook and fetch. This had the most human odor, the most recent human odor on it, and our dogs are trained for most predominant scent, so.
All right. Well, they get ready with the bite suit and everything. I can take some questions and answers, kind of cover up this time. Anybody got any questions? This big of a crowd, somebody's got a question. It's right there. Are they all male? I always love this question. Are they all male dogs? Yes. Most canines, law enforcement use are males. The reason being is the female dogs tend to be a little stubborn. I don't know if that's just a... Let me finish, ladies. But I always say it's just true proof. You put a choker chain on a man, he'll do anything you want him to do. So there you go, ladies, okay? Actually, I've only ever trained with one female dog, and it's the meanest dog I've ever trained with. She actually bites her own handler. But she's a very good dog. She works over in Garrett, Indiana. Very good dog. But the female dogs just tend to be a little bit harder to train. So that's not me. That actually is the truth. So the other dog, when they got retired, most dogs stay with their handlers when they retire. You got to remember, these dogs they're a part of our family. Most of them, they'll stay with the handler till they pass on. And there's a few reasons for that. One, like I said, they're a family. Two, these dogs are still capable of doing a lot of damage, and you can't have them being handled by somebody who doesn't know how to control them. Even though the dogs are retired, they still are classified law enforcement dogs until the day they go. So that's why we always keep good control of them. And like I said, again, they're just a member of family. I couldn't imagine being with a dog for 10, 12 years and then just turning them loose. So your question. Yes. Yep. They live with us. When they're home, most of them are regular dogs. I have a 3-year-old at home that crawls all over them. I have no issues with that at all. So when they're home, they're mostly normal dogs. They want to work. They don't want to be home as much as what other dogs want to be. They want to work. So they get bored. They get antsy. A lot of times I just throw him out in my car for a couple hours just to get him in the groove. And then he's just hoping that our cell phone, which he knows the actual tone to this cell phone, if we get called out, the bat phone as I call it, he gets ramped up. He knows we're going to work. As everybody can see, Mick is our bad guy. And he is going to be a non-compliant bad guy. When we send these dogs, we don't just send them. We give numerous warnings before we send them. The reason being is, if we don't have to send them, because it puts our dogs in harm's way. We don't know what maybe the bad guy has. We don't want to put our dogs in harm's way if we don't have to. Plus, we just prefer that everybody give up. It's a lot less paperwork for us. But if the bad guy doesn't give up, if he doesn't, say no or just fails to comply, we can send the dogs. But the other great thing about the dogs, if suddenly the bad guy realizes we weren't kidding about sending the dog and the dog's actually coming and the guy gives up, we can do something we can't do with a bullet, we can't do with a taser, we can't do a mace. We can not only call the dog off, the state of Ohio says we have to be able to call that dog off. So even though these dogs are amped up, they see, because this is their fun, they want to bite, the minute that bad guy gives up, we call that dog off and they instantly come off, and they have to. That's the only way you get certified in the state of Ohio. So that's another wonderful thing about the dog. If you listen, we'll call them off. And we will be doing a recall. So, all right, Mr. Bad Guy, are you ready? All right.
And with these dogs here, I always tell everybody, you know what, this dog will stay on till it's his last breath. This dog here will fight whoever he needs to fight to save me, any cost to him whatsoever. Sir, stop fighting my dog and I'll call him off.
Now that right there, folks, is the only time these dogs will engage without being given a command. Their number one job is they're our little Secret Service agents. If they feel that somebody's posing a threat to the handler, that's the only time that they will engage. And that's when they take it personal. They're mean when they're going after somebody. They're extremely mean when it's officer protection. Well, I think that'll about do it. Thank you again, everybody.